Hello, third graders. I hope you are having a good day. Today, in Human Body Systems and Senses, we are going to talk about, it says vision, but it's not vision. We're doing hearing parts of the ear. Lesson 8. Here's some of the vocabulary you will hear throughout the lesson. The cochlea is this spiral-shaped organ filled with fluid and hair cells that allows a person to hear. The ear canal is a tunnel-like passage that leads from the ear flaps to the eardrum. The eardrum is the thin, stretched membrane across the ear canal that vibrates when sound waves hit it. Impulses are electrical signals carried through the nerves of the ear to the brain, enabling someone to hear. Your inner ear is the deep part of the ear that has semicircular canals in the cochlea and that helps hearing and balance. The middle ear is the main hollow space of the ear behind the eardrum and before the inner ear. And then the outer ear is the outer portion of the ear that consists of flaps, the ear canal, and the eardrum. All right, so we've been talking about the systems of the body and how they are interconnected. Talked about the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, and now we're talking about some of our sensory organs. What does the term sensory organs mean? What is that? What is a sensory organ? Well, it's an organ that allows you to use one of your 5 senses. And what are your 5 senses? Hearing, seeing, taste, smell, and touch. Your 5 senses. All right. Heary. Today, we're going to poke around in your skull once more to learn about another one of your sensory organs. I'll give you a hint with another one of my special riddles. We are located near your eyes. There are 2 of us. My twin hangs out on the opposite side of your head. We both hate the sound of sirens. What are we? Yes, your ears. Your ears work together with your brain to help you hear. Think about all the different sounds you hear throughout your day. You hear alarm clocks, water running, doors opening, horns honking, bells ringing, people talking, and so much more. Your ears are very important in the classroom when you need to listen in order to learn. Your ears will help you thicken your cerebral cortex. You are going to hear about all the parts of the ear that work together as an interconnected system. Your ear is divided into 3 sections: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. Just like your eyes, only part of your ears is visible. The other parts are hidden inside the protective bones of your skull. Mammals are the only animals with outer ears. The outer ear consists of flaps on either side of your head, the ear canal and the eardrum. Think about these 2 words, canal and drum. What hint do they give you about how these ear parts work and function? Well, a canal is a pathway and a drum vibrates when hit to produce sound. Your outer ear flaps are called pinna. They are made of skin and a tough elastic tissue called cartilage. Who remembers which other part of the body contains flexible cartilage? Well, your ears, your nose, ends of your bones, and vertebrae contain cartilage. The bottom part of each ear flap or pinna is called an earlobe. Touch your earlobe, the bottom part of your pinna. It is much softer than the top part because it does not contain any cartilage. Some earlobes are attached to the side of the head, whereas others dangle loose. Do you know which sort you have? Look at your ear in the mirror or feel it? Is it attached or does it hang loose? Shaped something like a cup, your outer ear is a sound catcher. It collects sound waves from the air around you and funnels them through your ear canal to your eardrum. Your ear canal is like a tunnel, about half as long as one of your pinky fingers. The inside of the ear canal is lined with tiny hairs, and earwax is constantly being produced by glands beneath the soft skin. Can anyone guess what earwax does? I'll give you a hint. Earwax serves a similar purpose to that of tears. So an analogy would be earwax is to ears as tears are to eyes, right? They're used to clean and to keep dirt out of your ears. Earwax prevents infection by keeping dirt and other particles from building up in the ear canal. At the end of the ear canal, sound bounces off of a thin, flexible flap of skin that stretches across the end of this tunnel. This membrane or thin skin flap is called an eardrum because sound vibrates off in the same way that sound vibrates off the top of a drum when it is pounded with a drumstick. Your eardrum separates your outer ear from your middle ear. Your middle ear is a tiny air-filled space just behind your eardrum. As the eardrum vibrates or shakes, 3 itty-bitty bones inside the middle ear begin to move too. These 3 bones are named for their shapes: the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. They are the smallest bones in your body. Interesting. The stirrup is the smallest of the 3, no bigger than a grain of rice. These 3 tiny bones form a chain held in place by muscles that leads from the middle ear to the inner ear. Okay, it's time for an experiment. Close your mouth and form a puddle of spit inside your mouth. As you swallow your spit, listen closely. Did you hear anything? You should hear a little click. The middle ear is linked to the back of your throat by a narrow tube. Whenever you swallow, chew, or yawn, the tube opens to let air travel in and out of your middle ear. That keeps the air pressure constant on either side of your eardrum, preventing it from bursting. Have your ears ever felt clogged in an airplane or while riding in a car or over a mountain? Suddenly you hear a loud pop and they are fine again. The tube connecting your throat to your middle ear opened up. Thank goodness. Ears also have a pop when you go to deeper places. People who scuba dive and swim deep in the ocean learn different ways to help their middle ears can maintain the correct amount of air pressure while they're underwater. Your inner ear is located inside your skull. It is the most complicated and delicate part of the ear, consisting of a maze of tubes inside a liquid-filled, bony, hollow space. At the end of the maze is a snail-shaped coil, bony tube filled with fluid. This part of your ear, lined with tiny hairs, plays a very important part in hearing. It is called the cochlea, which means snail in Latin. Some people who cannot hear get cochlear implants, invented devices that function just like the cochlea functions. The second part of the inner ear is the auditory nerve, which can be linked to the optic nerve of the eyeball. Not linked, can be likened. It means it's like the optic nerve of the eyeball. Who can tell me what the function of the optic nerve is? It connects the eyeball to the brain, relaying what is seen by the eyes to the brain for processing. Then what do you think is the job of the auditory nerve? That's right, to send information that is heard to the brain for processing. So just exactly how do ears work? Your ears collect sound waves or vibrations. Sound waves are tiny, invisible movements in the air. Sounds are only heard when these waves bump against the outer ear and get funneled into your ear canals. Different sounds have different wave patterns. Loud sounds, such as the sound of a jackhammer, have larger waves than softer sounds, such as the purring of a cat. The louder the sound, the larger the vibration is inside your ear. For you to hear sounds, vibrations must travel from your outer ear, through your middle ear, to your inner ear, and on to your brain for processing. Let's follow a sound wave through an ear to see how it works. First, the outer ear, or sound catcher, collects sound waves and channels them into the ear canal. Once the sound waves are channeled into the ear, they hit the eardrum, causing it to vibrate. As the eardrum vibrates, so do the three bones in the middle ear. Next, hinged together by miniature joints, the hammer hits the anvil, and the anvil hits the stirrup. All these vibrations in the middle ear cause liquid in the inner ear to vibrate as well. Wrapped inside the cochlea is a long, narrow ribbon with thousands of hearing cells, each loaded with tiny hairs. The vibrations in the middle ear create waves in the fluid of the inner ear, which cause the tiny hairs of the cochlea to ripple as well. Next, the sensory hair cells bend and stretch, producing nerve impulses. These signals are carried on nerve fibers or threads along the auditory nerve to the hearing center of the brain. The brain is able to recognize the nerve impulses or signals as sound, even determining the direction from which the sound comes. The brain receives lots of different vibrations at the same time and is able to tell the signals apart, passing the information along to you and allowing you to hear. These signals hardly ever get mixed up in your amazing brain. Just like the process of the eyeball working with light, the process of hearing sounds is also quite wondrous. For some people, hearing is difficult or even impossible. When one or more parts of this system are not working properly, when people are not able to hear anything or perhaps only very few sounds, we say they are deaf. Your inner ear is the seat of your hearing, but it has another important job to perform as well. Your balance is controlled by your inner ear. Nestled beside your cochlea are three curved tubes called the semicircular canals. These canals are filled with fluid and lined with tiny hairs just like the cochlea. Whenever you move your head, turning around, lying down, or bending forward, fluid inside the semicircular canals cause the hairs to bend. The bending of the canal's tiny hairs sends nerve signals to your brain to let it know where and how you are moving. Your brain then sends messages to your muscles to keep you steady, maintaining your balance. Have you ever whirled around so fast that you became dizzy and lost your balance? That's because the fluid in the canals kept moving for a few seconds even after you stopped. It's almost time to stop for today, but first close your eyes and fold your hands in your lap. Let's sit very quietly and find out how many different sounds we can hear in the rooms we're in. Just for fun, before I go, I'll leave you with another riddle. I have ears but cannot hear. What am I? What are the parts of the outer ear? You can see in this diagram that the outer ear is the pinna or ear flaps made of cartilage, earlobe, part of the pinna, the ear canal, and the eardrum. The three parts of the middle ear are the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. They're the smallest bones of the body. The snail-shaped part of the ear is called the cochlea, and its purpose is contains hearing cells and helps you hear. All right, this is your writing. Compare and contrast the ears with the eyes. Use narrative sentences that describe something that happened this morning at breakfast or while you were getting ready for school. So think about how your ears and your eyes work and how you use them in life and compare and contrast them. How are they similar? How are they different? How does your sense of hearing help you on a daily basis? Our word for today is impulses. In the read aloud you heard, next the sensory hair cells bend and stretch, producing nerve impulses. Say the word impulses with me. impulses. Impulses are the electrical signals carried through the nerves of the ear to the brain that enable someone to be able to hear sound. The human brain is such a wondrous part of our body that it can interpret nerve impulses from the ear as sound. Right, we've talked about several different types of nerve pulses throughout this domain. What are some of the nerve pulses we've talked about? All right. Good job, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning about the ear.